Hey guys, voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest. Champagne, thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Rafterman. Shout out to Dilemma Stock. I would say Dilemma, but now it makes sense the way I look at it. Dilemma Stock. I see you out there. Shout out to all my boomers tuning in to this live broadcast. Happy Tuesday morning and afternoon to those that are tuning in at that time. It is the voice. Today we're talking about Bitcoin Cash leading the altcoin rally and Bitcoin to 12K question mark. Came across some articles speaking good about BCH, and some of these, or a significant amount of these Bitcoin forks have gained weight. So we're going to talk about that. And apparently BCH has led the rally. I don't know if this is true or not. I want to go deeper into the information and share it with you guys. Bitcoin supposedly, according to some charts, is on the wave to 12K. So we'll talk about that. Crypto Chronic says since last year, BCH, LTC, big difference is ETC rallying too. We've talked about ETC, and I've actually said, that I expected it to move, and it did. So, shout out to ETC. Derek McLean, he says, shout out to MLK for yesterday off. Shout out to Derek there in the box. Today we'll be talking about Bitcoin Cash, perhaps leading this altcoin rally and Bitcoin to 12K. It's all a question mark. I don't know if this is true or not. I came across some information. Today we'll check out the mathematics over there on CoinMarketCap, and we'll see these articles here. BCH, and apparently it's not only BCH. It's other coins. Litecoin's done well. Litecoin's done well as well. Also, so let's see. And I'm holding this Litecoin bag, and I'm holding on to it, and let's see. I'm glad that I shaved off some of that Litecoin bag off the top because it was a little bit too heavy. Bitcoin Gold and Dash also rallying nice. Absolutely. Yeah. These Bitcoin forks, the gold, the diamond, the SV, the cash, and others have gained weight. Now, am I really a believer of all those coins? Probably not. But the fact is that they've gained weight. So, shout out to that. Chronic is here. McLean is here. 134 is here. Rafterman Stock is here. All the boomers. Make sure you're touching the buttons. Like, subscribe, post notification bell. Ding, ding. Button it up. Stay spruced up for 2020 and beyond. And I'm going to encourage you guys. DLive. Catch me on dlive.tv/champagne crypto. I've been doing alternative streams out there. And just a few days ago, we did the things that make you go, stream. I did one about CIA mind control, the 1960s hippie movement, and the Laurel Canyon. It's an interesting, that hippie movement, guys like Jim Morrison, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, a lot of the big artists that came out of the Laurel Canyon in the 60s movement all had connections to the military. Morrison's dad was a Navy admiral commander during the Gulf of Tonkin incident that led to the Vietnam War. And that Jim Morrison was one of the leaders of the anti-war movement. So again, guys, we're starting to learn that there's lies on top of lies, and that the top of the pyramid, the eye, and the small, the small fraction that's on top uses all kinds of inversion and subversion, and they'll fund both sides. They'll fund the red, the blue. They'll fund the war and the anti-war movement. So we'll talk about that. We already did. So I encourage you to check out that stream. Let me link it there on the population of the chat box if you guys are interested to that. I encourage you to go, follow me over there. And like I said, it's 2020 and beyond. It's time to check out other alternatives to YouTube now as we get clearer vision. 2020 is about that clear vision. And we're trying these new platforms, guys. YouTube is 1998, okay? And while I'll be here streaming with the best of them, I'm also observing. That's not the right word. Testing. What's the word I'm looking for here? Sampling, or just trying out other platforms. Indeed. Shout out to Punish GT. I see you. Ty City's here. Crypto Chronic. He says he thinks 14K gets hit by April and dumped to 10K before halvening. You know what? I can't disagree with you. I've said this before. I see a run up on the way to the halvening. There's going to be hype, and like a few weeks before the halvening, or maybe a week before the halvening, it'll dump. Will it dump, below 10K? I doubt it. I think you may be right there, Chronic. I've said that, we're going to have a run up in anticipation to this halvening, but I don't think that we're going to touch all-time highs. I think we're going to come up short, being that, most of this is already priced in. Speaking of the military, I've been deep diving into nuclear weapons myth. Yeah. I know about that one. It's funny too, because if you watch that video that I just talked about, CIA mind control, it talks about the Lookout Observatory out there in the Laurel Canyon, which was a military base that it was at the time the largest film production facility. They would do everything in-house, and that facility was used to do the propaganda videos and the those nuclear test videos that you see, the ones that are blowing up, and all those were edited and produced over there. So, one thing that came to mind is like, what if, they were doing those videos on a small scale? Like, maybe those videos are hoaxes, just like the moon landing was. If you haven't gotten into that nuclear myth, it's a deep dive. So, the conspiracy goes that nuclear bombs is all a myth. Now, the first thing you're going to ask, well, how about Hiroshima? How about Nagasaki? Apparently, those were, according to the conspiracy, those were just fire bombs. And evidence of that is like people are still living in there. There's no radioactive, or there was no what happened to the so-called radioactivity? I mean, there's apparently everything's all good, and moreover, in Chernobyl, I heard that life is booming out there. The animals came back, everything's all good. And if you watch the series, they were scared that there was not going to be life for the next 50,000 years or whatnot. I don't know whether it's legit or not as far as this conspiracy, but what I do know is that there's lies on top of lies on top of lies. And you need to pay attention, because the mainstream narrative here, boomers, is not the truth. That's for sure. Look at what happened to Litecoin last year with its halvening. Yeah, we talked about it, Crypto Chronic. It gained weight. It went from about $30 the beginning of 2019, somewhere around there, and it topped off like at $150 about a month or a few weeks before its halvening. And, it never really gained weight after that. So the weight gain with the Litecoin halvening occurred before the halvening. And then soon before the halvening was a little dump. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin follows a similar trajectory. So, that's something to consider. I agree with you, Crypto Chronic. I think that we're going to see weight gain, but not as much as some expect. And I think that we're going to have a little dump, a pullback. So maybe, BTC is on the path to 12K. You're saying 14K, 12K. I don't know. I've said, at one point, my predictions for the halvening were around, let's say, like 16 to 21,000, somewhere around there. But as time progressed, I don't think we're going to have enough gas to get that far. So, I lowered my price predictions to around, 10,000 to 16,000, maybe in that pocket. Definitely above 10K. The halvening is priced in. Sorry, fellas, says Tide City. I think you're right to a certain extent. But would you disagree? You don't think that there's going to be some weight gain before the halvening? You don't think there's going to be a little hype? You don't see the price going up to around over 10K before the halvening? Guys, it's highly improbable we're going to see $5,000 to $6,000 Bitcoin ever again. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. What I would say, it's highly improbable that we'll see a Bitcoin below 5,000. Every single time this year after the summer, every time we would take a dip, it never went under 6K. Even when it was really, bearish, it never really went over 6K. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's check out the cryptocurrency market cap there on CMC. Check out the mathematics, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin Cash that appears to be leading the altcoin rally, says this article. And then finally, Bitcoin to conquer 12.5K before maybe pulling back. And Litecoin rallied before Bitcoin too. I think that was due to the halvening though last year. And listen, Litecoin has gained more weight this year than Bitcoin has. So Litecoin's not doing bad. I think 2020 is going to be a long time gain range from 10 to 20K. I agree, Slobos. I agree. I've said this, we got some crazy price prediction, and the greed is at all-time highs in the crypto market. People are talking about 30, 40, 50, 100, 200,000. Listen, I receive it, but I agree with Slobos here. We need to stay above 10K, between 10 and 20K for a little while. The price of Bitcoin has never stayed above 10K for more than 6 months, or for less than 6. I mean, like, how long has it stayed above 10K? Like a month or two? The point I'm trying to make is that it needs to prove itself and hold its ground above 10K for a significant amount of time. And we're just not there yet. Derek says he hopes it goes below 5K so he could buy. Well, I hope that you bought when it went below 7,000. You know, don't be one of those guys that are always wishing for it to go down, and then when it goes down, you don't take a stab at it. So hopefully, you took a stab at it when it was blood on the streets just a month or two ago. But yeah, timing the market is not necessarily the best strategy. Like, I'm waiting for the price to go down to buy. If you want to accumulate Bitcoin, I've said this time and time again. The most sound strategy, in my opinion, is to dollar cost average, DCA. So, every time you see a little red, you fire a little bit, or maybe you do it every week or every month. But you just average it out, because you can't time the market. You don't know when things are going to go exactly under this or that. So, when you see a little blood, take a stab, and that could be a sound strategy. You average it out. If you would be buying Bitcoin every week or every 2 weeks, you would have averaged out a price under 10K lately. So let's go ahead and talk about this, the prices, and then we'll get to it. Guys, go ahead and go to DLive and check out this stream. This is the stream I was just telling you about. CIA, Mind Control, 1960 hippie movement in Laurel Canyon. Listen, the powers of that be have been using culture, music, art, film to subvert and invert for a while now, guys. Critical Theory by Saul Alinsky is, like, I think one of Obama's top books, or if I'm not mistaken, I think Saul Alinsky was one of his mentors or whatnot. Guys, you may want to check that out. Critical Theory is part of the lefty plan. Subversion and inversion. It's a long game out here, guys. It's a long game. And, I encourage you guys to check that out. Let's go ahead and check out today's math. Let's get to the price here. Rafterman says DCA always the same time. There you go. That's not a bad idea. So if you say, listen, every Monday I'm going to buy, or every 2 weeks I'm going to buy at this price, you don't have to worry so much about timing the market. It'll average out. What's the price here? 86.69 on the price of Bitcoin today. I hit refresh. $239 billion on all of crypto worldwide. You got a Bitcoin dominance at 65.7. It's decreased just slightly. It was stuck there at 66 for some time. Shows me there's a little bit of movement towards the altcoins. Ether above 160 at 168. Ripple there at 23 cents. Bitcoin Cash is flatlined today, but it's at 341. And according to this article, it's been leading the altcoin rally. I want to read it to you guys, or show you some excerpts so you guys can give me your opinion. Bitcoin Satoshi Vision is back over $300 after dumping to like 260. This coin is this one. I mean, at least it's not boring to watch. I'll tell you that much. This one's not boring. Let's see what happens February 4th when this guy's going to apparently show his keys, or he's not. I don't believe the hype. I don't believe that he's Satoshi. I think he's just at the end of the day, the keys that were submitted to the court are only keys to de-encrypt a file that contains addresses. So it's like, come on. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not believing the hype, but certainly some people are, and that's probably why the price went up. You got Litecoin at $57. EOS at 363, Binance at 1770, Stellar at 6 cents, Cardano stuck at 4 cents, Monero, my favorite, at $66, Tron at 1, Tezos at 156, and Ether Classic is all doing all right, 887. Let's check out who the real gainers are. Synthix Network, I don't know anything about. Made Safe, this is an OG coin that no one really talks about, but it's been around for a while. Bitcoin Solve, Energy, this one's been talked about. And how about Steam? Shout out to my Steam sources. Steam gaining a little weight. I think what Steam is that if you have a little Steam and you're posting, you could create a little bit more Steam. You could generate a little bit more Steam. So, I mean, I've said this just a few days ago. I may have to start posting on Steam again, because I kind of missed the $5-10 worth of Steam that I would get was it weekly or something like that? Right now, I'm not getting any steam, so maybe I should go back to posting there. Cardano's up as well. Let's see if there's any losers today. Centrality, Kyber's lost. I like this token though. This one's attractive. Zcash is another one's attractive. This is a privacy token, and Maker. So yeah, these are some of the tokens that I like. Kyber, Zcash, and Maker are down today, so it's something to consider. Let's talk about Bitcoin Cash. Now, listen, I like Bitcoin Cash. I'm not a Bitcoin Cash holder, but I like the fact that they said, you know what? Bitcoin is not the way we want it to be. We're going to do our own thing, and we're going to go our own way. And it is what it is, guys, whether you like it or not. Okay? 340 for Bitcoin Cash. I'm not holding any bags, but I like Bitcoin Cash. So let's look at this article. Bitcoin Cash appears to be leading the altcoin markets. Is a major rally brewing? Let's see what it says here. The aggregated crypto markets have been subjected to volatility experienced by Bitcoin over the past several days. Let me link this article here in the population. This is on cryptoslate.com by Cole Peterson. And since I'm reading the article and I'm talking about it, let me share it so you guys can go over there and give it a click. Analysts are now noting that Bitcoin Cash has been leading the aggregated crypto markets, which could signal that where it trends in the near term will offer insight into where other major altcoins head next. Bitcoin Cash may be front-running the aggregated altcoin market. Okay, major update. 1 month later, nothing's changed. Bitcoin Cash continues to lead, up 16%. Litecoin's following, up 20%. ETH is up 10%. Cross-coin correlation is an extremely powerful method when it comes to alts, says this article. Majors particularly. That's a quote by a popular crypto analyst, Hasaka. And again, this is linked down below, so if you'd like to read. Is Bitcoin Cash signaling that the markets are about to rally? Bitcoin Cash has also formed a striking correlation to Bitcoin SV throughout 2020, with the two cryptos incurring similar price actions. I wonder why BCH and BSV have the same exact chart. It's almost creepy how similar these movements are. Perfectly timed out, says Don Alt, another popular analyst. Now, you know that SV is a fork of Bitcoin Cash. So read this. I'm not convinced that Bitcoin Cash is leading the charge because of this article, but I have noticed that a lot of the Bitcoin name brands have been charging, and I've said that the same could happen for Ether, and we see Ether Classic moving, and I did a whole video following that same logic. If Bitcoin forks are going to boom, Ether forks are going to boom, the next logical step is maybe those ERC20 tokens on Ethereum may kaboom, and we've seen a few of them actually move on up and experience some green gains. I did a whole video, what are the next ERC20 tokens to boom? You guys may want to check that out. Slobo says Monero and Bitcoin will outlive all the funny hype. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think Monero may even live longer, to tell you the truth. But, I don't think that Monero is going to go out there and, take out Bitcoin and become the #1 coin. It's, Monero, if it's truly the Crip Walker and it's truly private and it hasn't been subverted by the powers that be, it should remain like a gray area coin, and it should be around there in the top 20. It's the only true coin in crypto right now, at least in the top 20. I'm sure there's other, true crypto coins, but they don't have nearly as much liquidity that Monero has. Kaboom! Passive Crypto Shows catching alive after a long time. Shout out to Passive. Niagara Gardener's here. Boom. And Rafterman. Guys, drop a comment. Follow me on DLive. Check out those conspiracy-related videos that I've been doing. It's fun. We talked about the CIA mind control. We talked about weather manipulation. We talked about the moon hoax. And we'll continue to talk about things that may trigger you out there. So things that may get you kicked off YouTube. It's funny. You start talking about, why is it that, conspiracy theories sometimes are banned? Is it because they're flirting with the truth? I don't know. Shout out to ReadMax77. I see you. Boom. Let's talk about Bitcoin, where it's headed. Bitcoin to conquer 12.5, says this article, before May, says a veteran trader over here on Bitcoinist.com, posted by Christine Vasilieva. Let me link this in the chat box as well if you guys want to read this in its entirety. A dip to 5,000 becoming a less likely. I agree. A case for 12.5 Bitcoin price before May. Bitcoin has established itself in the $76,000 to $9,000 range and is slowly regaining momentum, says this article. Okay, a dip to $5,000 is becoming less likely. It is often easy to get consumed by the narrative on Twitter and fear-mongering around dumping to 5K. As it stands, I cannot see the argument on the chart. Sure, we haven't put in a higher high yet on the macro time phrase, but that is always the case until after the event. Shout out to Rafterman. He just dropped me $2. Rafterman, he says, keep the little strong. Indeed, we're keeping the little one strong. Indeed. Thank you so much, Rafterman. Let me drop some coins, actually some fiat. Guys, follow Rafterman's lead. If you get some value from the stream, don't show up to the party empty-handed. Throw a couple ducats here in the bucket. $1 or 10 will suffice. Slobo Reality says, definitely going to touch more onto D-Live. Shout out for introducing the new platform. Didn't know about it before. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. You know, go to D-Live not only to listen to the chant, but a lot of people that got kicked off of YouTube, okay, permanently banned. I haven't been kicked off, but I've been shadow banned and I've been striked and whatever. But a lot of people got straight up kicked off and they moved over there to D-Live. So, you know, it's a little bit edgier, you know, it's the edgier content. So you may want to check it out. You know, I see the truth community building over there, and there's a few characters, and then of course PewDiePie is like their main, I think the biggest entity on there, or the biggest guy, or you know, he's popular. So check that out, Slobos. Check it out, and let me know how you like it. I mean, I'm gonna say I like D-Live not because it's a crypto based application. We know it's now running on Tron or whatnot, but it's because people are using it and they're not using it talking about crypto all the time, you know, like as opposed to a lot of these other platforms. Like everybody's on the platform because of the token, you know, and then because of the content. It's like people are using D-Live, including myself, and not even accessing the wallets. Or I haven't even bought or sold anything that has to do with the D-Live crypto. I just use it because it has functionality and it has that chat box. So it definitely falls in tandem with my format. Hit the likes. You're right, Rafterman. Hit them right now. Let me go ahead and keep talking about this Bitcoin at 12K. Let's see here. This analyst said, after the sharp retracement to 8,500 on Sunday, there has been a lot of bearish conversion reemerging. But yesterday or the day before, I did a stream and said Bitcoin's still bullish despite that pullback. At present, I do not share this view in the medium term. Neither do I. The 50-week moving average is squeezing up and lies around 8K at the moment and is a dip buying opportunity I'm looking towards, says this quote here on bitcoinist.com. Let's see what the case is. The most opportunist trade which may present itself would be buying a dip to the 20-week moving average with a stop being a weekly close below the 50-week moving average and a target of 12.5K, which is the top target of the anticipated inverted head and shoulders pattern. Okay. I'm very much of the opinion that Bitcoin will reach to at least the 12.5 level before the halving, but we'll have to reassess if the 50-day or 20-day weekly moving average do not provide support. Listen, I can see that this could happen. You know, I think we could be in a path to 12.5K before the halving. Now, I think a lot of people are expecting the halving to take crypto and Bitcoin back to all-time highs. I don't think so. I think that majority of the weight gains already priced in, but don't sleep on, you know, this fear of missing out. It may propel the coin a little bit, you know. So I do agree. I think that we may hit 12K by May. Drop a comment. Let me know what you feel about this. Do you think that Bitcoin's on a path to 12K, 12.5K by May? May is when the halving is going to occur. Hit the likes right now. So I dropped both these articles. The one from Crypto Slate talking about Bitcoin Cash leading the altcoin rally, and this link to bitcoinist.com talking about Bitcoin to conquer a 12.5 level before May. So, you know, I agree. I agree with this article more than BCH leading the altcoin rally. Drop a comment. Let me know what's shaking and baking out there. But things are looking all right. I said this weekend, if the price of Bitcoin can maintain above 8,200, 8,400, that it seems to me like we found a new support level, and there shouldn't be concern for a bearish move. So this is the chart. You know, as soon as we went above this resistance here, which is about 84, you can see that we're clearly above it. So I mean, we had a dip, but as long as we stay above this red line, I think we're all good, guys. Ethereum dApps recorded 900% increase in active users 2019. There you go. That's why I think Ethereum's here to stay, guys. I know it's not the fastest and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that some of these other platforms have, but it does have liquidity and it has talent working on the blockchain. So there it is. There are only 348,000 old users remaining active in 2019, accounting for 11% of all active users. The amount of active dApps users for Ethereum and Tron has also started to form a sharp gap with EOS. Gambling dApp is the only type of application that has over 1 million new users, which is more than a total amount of dApp users on Ethereum in 2018. So let me link this. Don't sleep on Ether. Don't sleep on DeFi. I think it's here to stay. I still got a little Ether baggie there. I'm just glad we got a bit of a pump. Let's hope it continues. It's looking good, though. Yeah, it is, Reed. You're right. I'm glad it's looking good, though. We're closer to 10K. 86 is healthy. If we can stay above 9,000, we attacked 9,000 over the weekend and we had to pull back. But we're all right. We may be on the path to 12K. I think I may agree with this one. Now, as far as all-time highs, boomers, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to hit all-time highs for this happening. I don't think so. But I'm betting, me personally, that we will go above 10K. How much? I really don't know. All these gambling dApps need to go. Do they, though? Really, do they? I mean, I don't use them, and I'm not really a gambling guy, but, you could argue that, the gambling dApps is brought users. I mean, a lot of people are using it. The majority of these, here's the fact, and, I'm not a gambler, and I'm not into porn or anything, but both gambling and porn, they lead the charge a lot on the internet. It's like those porn sites were the first that really had like good video players, and then gambling. Crypto's been used in the gambling space, so you could argue that because of those markets, they actually bring users in, and the market is able to develop, the technology is able to develop, but I'm not particularly attractive to gambling or anything like that. But you could look at it both ways. Does it need to go? I mean, I wouldn't agree. I don't say they need to go, but I'm not attracted to them. I'm just waiting for next week. Chinese New Year is over, so Bitcoin bulls above 10K. Yeah, usually after the New Year, the Chinese New Year, there could be some movement. They go by the moon, right? Like the moon, once there's a new full moon, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong, but I shared that too on DLive. The manipulation of time, how there's really 13 months, and there's 28 days per month. 28 times 13 is 364, and then you add that extra day, and it's 365. But apparently the Romans changed it. They added August and July, and then they removed some months, and yeah, that's a whole nother video, guys. There's a plan to invert and subvert, and they're even switching time on you. The time is the programming, really. Everything's programmed to the time, whether you believe it or not. It is what it is. Maybe I'll share that one again, but that was a good stream. Those streams, guys, you got to catch them when you catch them because they expire after 3 days. Yes, lunar calendar for Asian. Yeah, it's not only the Asians, like in antiquity and, for thousands of years, they were always following the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar is more accurate than the Gregorian calendar. That's why every 4 years they got to do a leap year because it's all messed up. It's not precise like a clock like the lunar calendar is. There is the saying, the internet is made for porn, says Rafterman. Yeah. Well, my understanding is that the majority of all internet traffic has to do with porn. It's like 60% of all the traffic on the internet is porn based or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but it could be. Time is the most powerful asset in the world. I don't know if that's true, but I would say it is one of the most, if not the most, but I would say it's one of the most. Yeah, I should do that video again. So, even look at the names of the months. Something like December, Deca is a 10. So December usually was the 10th month of the year. The same thing of the month before, November 9th, October 8th. I mean, it's right there on your face. October means the 8th month. It's right there. Octagon, October, it's right. Dec, and September, it's all right there. So something to consider. Yeah, but time is definitely a powerful asset. I don't know if it's the most powerful. I haven't thought that through, but it's definitely very powerful. BTC is the best store of time. I never thought of it like that. Which calendar did the Aztecs use? I don't know, Derek, but I'm sure that it was lunar based. Like most of these societies, I mean, guys, just look at every 28 days, like clockwork. It's right there precisely. The moon is a full moon, and then it waxes and it wanes, and it's a clock. It's basically right there. It doesn't change. It's like precisely every 28 days. So and that coincides with females' menstrual cycles. It's every 28 days or so. It's like, so nature's been showing us. But, these Roman emperors, or I don't know who it was. I think it was like Julius and Augustus. They were fighting with each other. One guy wanted one month to have more days than the other. So he stole days from another month. And then, it's a whole, not even conspiracy. It's a fact, So that's why there's July, because it's like Julius, and then August is Augustus. And they switched everything. If we followed a 13-month lunar calendar every 28 days, every single day would always land on the same weekday, and it would be perfect. Right now, it's like your birthday always lands on a different date of the week. If you had a lunar calendar, it's always going to be precise. So it's like, it's way more accurate. It has more precision. Only asset that cannot be replenished is time, says Raptorman. Yeah, you got a point. But I don't know which calendar the Aztecs use. I'm sure they use their own, but I would bet that it has to do with the moon, And it's not only the moons too. So you got the moon that does the months. The sun does the hours. That's why it's like Horus and Horas, or Horus, It's like the sun has a lot to do with like Horus and hours. That's where we get that name. But the sun helps you track hours. The moon track the months. And then the stars, the years and the ages. So it's all a time clock, That's why when they tell you that you're on a spinning globe in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a vacuum, and we're spinning out of control, guys, don't believe the hype. There is a precision and accuracy to the heavens. And, someone that tells you that we're in the middle of nowhere in a vacuum spinning towards nothing is probably trying to scam you. You got to stop watching the porn, listening to that, and just look up to the stars and figure it on your own. That's why the ancients were on point. I know they mastered calendars. Yeah, it's real simple. Like, all you got to do is look up. Get yourself one of those stargazing apps. I got a stargazing app. Start getting familiar with the stars and see how they move and everything. And like, it gets you tuned into nature. And, the farmers back then, they were everything with the constellation, the clocks. The stars, the moon. And I'm still learning more about it. Most people don't even know that the moon has a 28-day cycle. They don't know. They don't even know that the moon waxes and wanes on the left side and on the right side. They don't really even know. Most people don't even know that they've been looking at the same side of the moon their whole life. They haven't even noticed that it hasn't rotated. Okay? Allegedly it rotates. That's what they tell you. But look at it with your own eyes. You can't see evidence of rotation with the moon. So, yeah, time controls everything. That's a point. I mean, time is really like, the master manipulator. So the video that I showed, we're going completely off a tangent. talks about this manipulation of time, the programming, and people do things to the calendar. It's like, no matter what do you believe? It's like your behavior is going to change around Christmas, whether you're a believer or not. Like the whole society's behavior changes. So, he says, I didn't know that. Yeah, I may bring that one up again. It was a good video that I shared, man. It was really good. I didn't know anything about it either. But it starts to make sense. So, 28 times 13 is 364. You add an extra day, boom, 365, and it's all complete. You never have to have leap years, and all the days end up exactly on the same weekday. So if you were born on a Wednesday, forever, your birthday will be on a Wednesday. But no, apparently they swapped it out. And what's really interesting, and I was doing some research about this, is how the Vatican, they own the majority of the observatories for the stars. They even own a telescope called Lucifer, guys. The Vatican owns a telescope observatory called Lucifer. And, it is what it is, guys. I bought a Viagra stock and shit went down thinking it's going up because the baby boomer buying less and they are dying sick and etc. So do you believe in the zodiac signs? I think there could be some truth there or whatnot, but not necessarily. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus and I believe in God. And, the Bible kind of talks about not worshiping that. I'm sure that there's truth to it and you could look into it. But when you talk about the zodiacs, it's just a perspective. So like some people look at the Orion's belt as Orion, and that's his belt. But other civilizations look at that pattern and they may come up with something else and they may call it something else. So, I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, I don't follow, do the zodiac. Obviously people know what sign they are and they've read that, but, I think that what's above all that is God that put it there. He's the one that put it there. And that's to me proof that he exists because this thing's clockwork. For thousands of years, people have been looking at the same exact stars, guys. The ancient Egyptians were looking at the same stars that we're looking at. And and then yet they tell you that we're spinning in an endless vacuum. If we're spinning in an endless vacuum, then how are we seeing the exact same stars all the time? At one point, they got to get scrambled, right? So, Dilemma says the Viagra stock, we talked about that. Yeah, usually, people got in and got out before, if you came up with that thought, like, oh, I think Viagra is going to go up. Like, it's kind of like the weed stocks. Like, oh, weed seems to be doing good. Like the weed stocks were already pumped and dumped, So, you got to get in there early. If the mainstream's already talking about it, too late. But I'll tell you why Viagra's up. Like you go on the radio now and you hear about all these advertisements for erectile dysfunction and, Viagra and all these pills. Guys, it's because the porn is pumping out there. Everybody's porned out and they can't get it up anymore because they're watching, Stacy on the porn and doing all kinds of tricks that normally your girl's probably not going to do, So they, it's like they've been numbed by watching so much porn. They can't even get it up anymore. I think I definitely, I don't have data to prove this, but I think there's a direct correlation between erectile dysfunction and porn. That's what I say. That's my hypothesis. Like, have I proved it? No. Drop a comment, guys. Follow me on DLive. Follow me on DLive.tv/Champagne Crypto. We talked about Bitcoin Cash leading the altcoin rally. I don't know if that's true. The article's over here. And I've linked it in the chat box if you guys want to read this. Bitcoin Cash appears to be leading. Other major alts are doing pretty well also. And then this one I do agree with. Bitcoin to conquer 12.5 before May. I think this could happen. I think we may be in a path to at least above 10K. We got to get above 10K, guys. Above 10K. So, I mean, hopefully in February or March, we'll start seeing these 10K prices. We got a few more days left here in January. I don't know if we have enough steam to, get above 10K this month. But hopefully by next month, definitely by March, we got to see a 10K. If not, we're going to have to change our targets. Derek says, that's been proven true, champ. Yeah, it maybe it has or haven't. I just haven't seen the data. But it makes sense, Yeah, if you have ED, stop watching porn. It often helps it. That's right. That makes sense. Rafterman says, and age is related. Oh yeah, obviously, that makes sense. As you get older, your testosterone goes down, so that may lead to some difficulties. But I would say that it's not the only factor. But some people, it's more of a problem with their heart. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have ED, and I haven't watched porn, and I don't even remember, guys. I don't even remember. So I encourage you guys to do the same. Let it go. Let it go. And I will admit that it's probably easier for me because I have the wife. So if I was a single man, it'd probably be a little bit more difficult. I understand. But you shouldn't be having sterile sex, is the idea, and you shouldn't be fapping around out there. It's a waste of time. That's why these boxers or these fighters, they remain celibate when they're training. And you got to ask yourself why, because it can make you a stronger guy. Drop a comment. Follow me on DLive. We talk about things like this and more. Okay. In addition to the crypto, we've got 22 concurrent viewers and 14 likes. Smash the likes for me. The like, the sub, the post notification, the ding ding. Go ahead and 24 viewers. Go ahead and watch this video right here before they take it down. It'll expire if not today or tomorrow. CIA mind control, 1960s hippie movement, Laurel Canyon, and see the surprising connections between a lot of these hippies, so-called hippies, and the military. It's crazy. I never even knew this. It's crazy. I'll tell you, 1960s is a real decisive time. It seems like, between Kennedy, the Vietnam War, the Gulf of Tonkin, these hippies, like there was a lot of changes in the matrix, it appears. And again, I wasn't around at this time, but, looking back and learning more, it's very interesting. And one thing that caught my attention is how music and culture could be being subverted right now by the powers that be. And, I haven't done a stream about that, but I've talked about it. We know that there's ties to the prison industrial complex and the hip hop culture. There's a reason that they're promoting degeneracy. Definitely hip hop used to be about, good lyrical wordplay. It was about thinking out the box, and there was kind of a freedom movement there in the late 80s, Public Enemy or whatnot. And then gangster rap came in, and before you know it, it was all downhill. And I think that's by design, boomers. You got to ask yourself, like, how do these people that they don't know anything about nothing, like they're making stars out of degenerates out there? It's like, do these people really have talent or what? And I think that is by design. It's like they throw money, $100,000 at a banana taped on the wall. They give $1 million to artists that have no talent whatsoever, and it's by design, guys. Okay, it's by design, is my opinion. Shout out to Slobos, Derek, Rafterman, Treese, I see you, and the rest of the boomers. Good morning, champ and the boomers. Shout out to Queens. A little late, Queens, but you're here, and welcome. Good morning to you. How's that new job treating you, Queens? I know you got a new job there driving. I got someone in the comments today is trying to tell me, champ, go get your crane operator's license. You operate a crane, you get started at $30 an hour, and it's good. I don't know if you heard anything about that. And shout out to my blue chippers, my blue collar workers out there. I'm appreciating you guys every day more and more. If you're driving a truck out there, you're working in construction, you're working a crane, you're working with your hands. Shout out to you guys. A lot of you guys are doing better than some of these soy boys that spent a bunch of student loans on going and getting a gender studies diploma. About testosterone, more physical challenges, better nutrition, better testosterone level. The leaner a man is and the less you eat junk, the less you got to worry about dysfunction. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. It's not only, absolutely. It's not only the porn that's leading to a dysfunction. I would say it's also the diet, and the lack of exercise. But, it's all those things. But I do agree with you, Slobo. So, and that's why I've been encouraging you guys for a while. Put some weight on the bar, go to the gym, become a stronger man. The time is now. 2020 is about clear vision, boomers. So go ahead and catch that D live stream. Maybe I'll pop up on D live on you guys. Rafterman says truck driver. Yeah, respect to you, truck driver. I used to work in a warehouse when I was in my teens. I used to drive a forklift or whatnot. So, I got nothing but respect to men that get down and dirty with their hands, and they work in blue collar industry. And a lot of cases, some of these blue collar jobs are better than some of these jobs these soy boys are getting straight out of college. Enrique says, shut up. Who is this guy, Enrique? What are you saying, Enrique? Who do you think you are? You just want to get sniped out? You want me to make your day? You want me to make your day? Enrique was on timeout. Look at that. Rafterman didn't even give him a second. Boom! He sniped him. Timeout. Snipe him out the box. Sniped him out the box. Wasted him. Yeah, I would have entertained him there for a little second and see what he had to say, but he stepped into the box the wrong way. He was sniped right out. Banned. Not only on timeout. How do we ban people for life? I don't see the option anymore. But let's see if he comes back in and talks trash. Sometimes it's fun to entertain a troll and snipe him out. We don't get them every day. Queen says, I'm always late, even to my new job, doing good. I think I caught a baby flu. I was sick for like 3 days, and then like 3 days just had chills. Yeah, a lot of people got sick. It's that flu season. A lot of people got sick. Had the babies under the weather. Even I was under the weather for like a day there. An invasion of soy boys. I'll tell you, there's a lot of them out there, guys. It's a lot of them. It's also the plastics. I was reading how some of these plastics, that the plastic food containers, the beverages, and all this plastic that we may be ingesting could raise estrogen, they're saying. Rafterman says, I don't see that option. Neither do I. Like before, it was a way to just go to their page and just ban them. Hide user from this channel, says Dolphin. Okay, maybe from that. That's the new way to ban. But let's see if he pops up after 300 seconds and see what kind of trash he talks, and then we'll snipe him out. Some people just, they do it for fun. The trolls out there. Imagine being a troll. You got to be bored to be a troll. Dilemma says, where are you from? And I'll answer how I usually answer. I'm from the internet out here. Someone was asking, Champagne, how come you don't show your face? I'm like, guys, this is crypto. It's Champagne crypto. It's about a certain layer of privacy. And certainly, it's not about me. I don't care about the fame or the recognition out here. Nothing like that. I'm out here just chopping it up with the boomers. And I'm sure if I showed my face and I did a couple more polished videos, I'd get more viewers and stuff. But I really don't want that. I'll be honest with you. I don't really want. I'm gonna stay cryptic. Keep it crypto, okay? As opposed to some of these others that they're KYCing their whole life. I'll keep it crypto. And someone once hit me up. They're like, Champ, keep it crypto and always be anonymous. And I kind of like that. Shout out to my anons. Who is the illest? I don't even know if that's the word we should be using for this channel, but who's the illest anonymous character ever? Is it Banksy? Is it Satoshi? Is it what's the other guy? Guy Fawkes? He's another anon. Shout out to my anons out there. I keep it anonymous because to me, it's more about the content and the things that I'm saying than about me. I'm not here trying to promote Champagne Crypto. I'm here promoting the ideas and the opinions that Champagne Crypto has. You get it? I do not get the troll mentality, says Rafterman. It's people are bored and they want attention. Really, is what it is. They want attention. It's like children. If you have children, you'll know. It's like, children are trolls to a certain extent because they get bored and they want a reaction. They want to see how you react. Dilemma says, all right, brother, I respect that. Yeah, there you go. The same reason, like, your Dilemma stock, you're not using your government name or your picture. And it's not about secrecy. It's not like I'm trying to hide or anything like that, guys. It's nothing about that, but I like the anonymous. I like the crypto swag, it's Champagne Crypto. If I was out here, KYCing with you guys, knowing your customer, showing you all, my face, my family, it's not crypto anymore. It's like, you know, then I become like selling myself, you know, and then I become like about, you know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be about that. I want it to be about the content. And I do understand this, that it's kind of slowed the channel from growing. I mean, I'm sure if, you know, I was out there like some of these other YouTubers showing face or whatnot, maybe there would be more viewers. But it's not always about viewers. It's not always about making more sales. Because indeed, I'm not here to make sales. I mean, I got $4 in this chat, but, you know, is $4 really, you know, going to float the boat? You know, I guess not. God says children are zombies, says Raptorman. Nah, they're not actually. They're not. Some are. Some are. Have been on the iPads. I'll tell you, children, I would say they're not zombies. They're very, very observant. You know, especially my son. Like if something in the house changes or there's a different object or things, he pays attention to like the smallest details. So, you know. That's probably because he's not on the iPad all the time, you know, and the TV time and the cartoons are very limited. You know, take him outside more often. You'd be surprised. I mean, kids are honest. You know, shout out to kids. And at the same time, though, they do troll and they do misbehave. And, you know, having toddlers, you know, they throw fits. They don't know how to handle their emotions or whatnot. And there is a lot of similarities between toddlers and trolls. Slobo says, just keep doing you, Champagne Dig the Style. Yeah, that's what I decided, you know. I'm just going to keep doing me, you know. Maybe it's not the best for like views or whatnot, but I'm not here because of the views, you know. I like getting more views. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want less views, but you know, it's not like the channel is paying. It's not like the main gig, you know. It's like, and if it was, I hope that I could be as honest as I am now. That would be awesome. You know, it's like if this would be fruitful enough to be the only gig, that would be awesome. Thank you, Queens. He just dropped me 2. Did I say thank you? Thank you to Queens. And thank you to everybody that's dropped a couple ducats here in the bucket, whether it be in this stream or others. I appreciate you. I know Punish GT dropped me a couple bucks last stream, and I listened to the replay. I'm like, did I really thank Punish? Because I know he dropped me a couple ducats, and I don't know if I thanked him. But, you know, thank you, Punish. I know you dropped me ducats there in the bucket the other stream. Queens always showing love. Rafter, man. Every dollar is appreciated, guys. And it's not about the dollars. There's guys that always comment and they don't drop a dollar, and that's fine. Maybe you can't. But, you know, I appreciate that positive commentary as well. Rafterman says, this format rocks, champ. I appreciate it, Rafterman. I like the format. And that's why I've been doing D-Live, because it really is up my alley with the format. But yeah, some children are zombies, though, Rafterman. I see them. You know, some parents, they just throw them on the iPad all day long, out, you know, with the iPad. Slow down with these iPads. Drop a comment here. I think I'm going to get a bite to eat. We've been out for 54 minutes. I want to do a D-Live stream, but, you know, I don't really have that. You know, I got an idea for the prison industrial complex and how it ties into art and music. Maybe you guys already know about that. I know Kanye talked about it a little bit. I could do that. I can expand more on another one that we talked about was expanding on the Wizard of Oz allegory, the Tin Man, the tax identification number, how your name's in all caps when you're dealing with the government, and basically that's your corporation. Rafterman says it's a family. Absolutely, it is a family, Rafterman. At this point, we're here every single day showing love, the crypto brothers, helping each other out and encouraging each other. That's why I've done those self-improvement broadcasts. I think that helps some boomer. If you're going to just help one person, I hope you guys put some weight on the bar. You get stronger, healthier. You know, who doesn't want to be stronger? Who doesn't want to be healthier, you know, and wealthier for that matter? Copy just dropped me $1.99. Kaboom. Thank you, Copy. I appreciate you. Original Copy. I think you're the one that put me into the Oiling of America video. And it makes total sense. Subvert and invert. So you get the pyramid and the way you're supposed to eat, the food pyramid, and then they just flip it upside down. And they tell you what you should be eating the most of is bread. Could you imagine that? That's what peasants eat, guys. The main food for peasants is bread. Copy. You were the one that told me about that one, right, Copy? It could have been you or someone else, but I think it was. Music is absolutely a factor in people's behavior. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Especially for young adults. You know, music really impacts and puts you in that mood, and you know, that a lot of the culture is promoted through music. Absolutely. Yeah, original copy says, yeah. So yeah, the oiling of America. That's a whole. We've done streams about that though. I think in the self-improvement, how, you know, there's been a plan to subvert eating animal products, guys. Been a plan. They want to take you off the animal products. That's why you see so much of this plant-based and you know, vegan promotion. Now, you know, I'm not going to go ahead and get into a fight with the vegans. I understand that it treats animals good, but you know what my theme is, guys. There's a reason there's been hunter-gatherers for thousands of years, and there is no food that contains more nutrients than animal products. Okay? That's the bottom line. All the nutrients are in animal products. Now, the thing is, with some of you guys eating animal products, you're just eating way too much. You're eating animals that may be treated with antibiotics and whatnot. So, but it's not the red meat that's bad. It's all the stuff that's been done to it, and it's all the food that people eat on top of it. It's always better to raise your children old school and control any limit of the time they use on electronics. My friend's daughter is 11 years old, and all she wants to do is show for IG. Yeah, it's sad, you know. These kids, they want to show for IG, and you got to regulate it, guys, you know. And even ourselves, you know, we need to slow down. All of us slow down with the black mirror. We're always in front of the black mirror. It's that phone, you know. Most grain, bread, and processed sugar is basically poisoning. That's right, Slobos. But you got to ask yourself, why are they telling us that that's the main food that you should be eating? They gave us the food pyramid. But the food pyramid is all propaganda, guys. It's all propaganda. It is all propaganda. As is the plant-based and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not going to get into the only argument, and I'll leave it at this. The only argument that I see that holds weight with the plant-based guys is that they're not contributing to animal suffering as much as others. But what they don't realize is that the majority of the plants that you may be eating are fertilized with animal products, including blood. So you can't get away from it. Queen says, and the rest of the young people want what they see on social media and is really blinding them for reality of life. Absolutely. You know. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, raising your children old school. You know, that's why I'm not mad at, you know, people doing homeschooling or whatnot. And now, I don't know if it's like this in all states, but certain states allow you to do public school at home through the internet. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, they gave the pyramid so you look like one. Yeah. It's funny, though, that they give it to you in a pyramid and they invert it. It's like all these things there's so many symbologies and symbols. Guys, if you haven't figured out that the powers that be are deep into symbology, look at all the old school architecture and all the different symbols and signs and the cryptic messages that could be there. It's like they're big into signs and symbols and numbers, too. I'll take a few more comments and questions before I land the plane. I'm not sure if we're going to go D-Live today, but maybe. Thank you to Original Copy and everybody else that dropped the little ducats here in the buckets. I appreciate you. I'll take a few more comments and questions before I end this broadcast. To recap, Bitcoin Cash appears to be leading the rally according to this article. I don't know how much I agree with it, but it's linked. I'll link it again if you want to read it, if you just came into the chat box. I like Bitcoin Cash, but I haven't figured out how it's any better than Monero, to tell you the truth. Can someone tell me how Bitcoin Cash is better than Monero? And I guess the only thing that probably people are going to say is the scalability. That's probably the only argument that I've heard. And then Bitcoin to conquer the 12.5 level. Let me link this one as well. So if you're new to the box, you could read it. But these are the articles that I covered today. And I said that if we maintain above this resistance level that we cracked through back in just a few days ago, which was what, yesterday? Yeah, it seems like we cracked through. Was it yesterday? No, the 14th. So it's been about a week. We cracked through that resistance about a week ago. If we stay above 8,400, we should be good. On that note, guys, I'm going to tune down the broadcast. Check me out on D-Live. Catch the replay. And stay strong out there, boomers. And I'm going to encourage you, download the Brave browser. Do it. Okay? Download the Brave browser. Earn some BAT tokens. And you can swap out those BATs for Bitcoins. Or for your favorite altcoin. Or hold on to the BATs. You never know if they go up. Tyler says, I'm sticking to the OG. I'm not mad at that. And Tree says, Bitcoin Cash is a no for me. And I can respect that. Listen, I like Bitcoin Cash. I think it's cool. But to be honest, I don't have a bag. So, apparently I don't like it that much, right? And I agree with Tyler. I do stick to the OG Bitcoin. So far, it's treated us well. On that note, guys, I'm out of here. Stay strong. Put some weight on the bar. Go to the gym now. Okay? Shout out to Dilemma. Shout out to Queen's Races. Not sure if you remember, Champ, when I said Bitcoin Cash under 175 is a steal. I picked up 5, and BCH has been good to me so far. I don't remember exactly that when you said that, but congratulations, Queens. That's good. That's a good move. So you're doubled up. Bitcoin Cash has gained more weight than Bitcoin has, at least this year or in the last few months. So good for you. Good for you. And one thing that I'm reminded of is the dollar vigilante, Jeff Berwick, when he was talking about SV's sudden rise, and he talked about Bitcoin Cash hard forks, and he says that while he doesn't believe that Bitcoin Satoshi Vision is legit, he's holding on to these forks and not selling them. And I thought that was an interesting strategy because, something to consider. Maybe they do gain weight or they don't. Me personally, when I got my Bitcoin Cash, I converted it to Bitcoin. So I haven't been a holder. But it's something to consider. I wasn't mad at his strategy when he said that. He's like, I've been holding them. So it's not something I did, but interesting strategy. On that note, shout out to Dilemma, Tyler, Treese, Queens, Slobos, and the rest of the boomers out there. Stay strong. I'm going to go get some lunch, guys. It's the voice of the blockchain here. Satoshi's big cousin, cryptography's finest, Champagne. Where's my bomb? Is it a dud? There you go. Thanks for tuning.